Shalom Akim wa Akwatyan. First and foremost, I'd like to turn to the east and give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Kakwadash. I'd like to proceed this lesson with giving double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And you know, what I want to get into, man, I was just meditating earlier, man, and I was just thinking to myself, man, time is, and I was acknowledging it, man, and I was noticing, these days are getting shorter, man, they don't feel like they used to back then, especially these winter days, man, especially with all these weather anomalies going crazy. It's not cold in some parts as it's supposed to be, and out here in Arizona it's colder than it's supposed to be this time of year around. It's like it changed. The climax is changing too, man. That's also a sign, man. These effects and signs, man, that the Most High is showing us to tell us, if you have the spirit, to let us know that, hey, he is nigh, man. He is near, and he is coming back, man. He is close to coming back and destroying this place, man. And you wicked ass people, man. First, you got to start with the house of Jacob, man. You know what the scripture says, man, because these 2/3, man, they wicked, man. But I was just meditating on how short these days are getting, man. Even in the day, man, you wake up early, you do what you got to do, but then around 5 o'clock, the sun's already starting to go down, man. And the nights just feel super long for no reason, man. In the day, things go by quick, but at night, it's like it takes longer. It takes longer, man. And I just wanted to get into that, man. The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 22, man. And except those days should be shortened, there should Salaki, man. Let me start from the top. Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And like I said, man, we see all these signs, the floodings and stuff, these earthquakes, these pestilences that are coming around, man. There's a high STD rate right now all throughout America, which is Babylon the Great, man. All these immoral sexual spirits are going on around, man. Men wanting to dress like women, women wanting to dress like men, men sleeping with men, women sleeping with women. It's all confusion, man. Babylon, Babal, man, it's confusion, man. It's a big ass ball of confusion where all these people are, where it's accepted and not frowned upon to do these types of behaviors, man. Immoral behaviors is encouraged here in America, which is Babylon the Great, man. And that's something that a lot of people don't, take into account, man. Because, hey, they're blinded, man. What are they blinded by? Doing shit they want to do in the world, man. Giving into their flesh, giving into, going out every time, man, or, indulging in whatever they can buy to make themselves feel good, It's all different for it's all different for each individual, but it all leads, it's all vanity, man. Just like, what did King Solomon, man? Let's see. But ultimately, these people are blinded by all this shit, man. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 14. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit, man. All of this shit is a vexation of spirit, man. For those brothers and sisters who are in the truth, man, you see how fucked up, excuse my language, man, but you see how effed up everything is, man. And this is this ain't the way to fucking live, man. Going out, man, seeing Transformers, seeing people trying to dress as the other gender, man. That's a total ball of confusion, man. And we know that shit's not right, man. We know that shit ain't right, but all these other people are so prone and so used to, to seeing this shit. It's just like they don't give a fuck, man. They accepted it, man. And of course, brothers got to be wise. Don't try to go off on no people like that. Let them do them, man. But of course, you got to, examine from a distance. And that's wrong, man. So that's why it's a vexation of spirit, man. Cause back in the ancient world, you be able to shit. If a man slept with your wife, man, you be able to kill him and your wife, man. Now you can't even do shit, man. So that's there's different forms of being vexed in the spirit here in Babylon the Great, man. But that's why the Lord is shortening these days for the elect's sake, man. So we don't need to, keep. This shit's bullshit, man. We just gotta say how it is, man. And the elect feel the same way, man. They tired of this shit, man. At times, there's a scripture that says, let me get that. Hold on, Salakia. Because at times, man, you wanna pop a can, fucking bust somebody's ass, man. Fuck them up, man. You don't want to be around them, man. Then, it leads. Sometimes you have that feeling where you want to fuck somebody up, man. So there's this precept right here. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the power to the pulling down of strongholds, man. So let me reread it. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, And at times, of course, we get angry, man, but don't act out on your anger, man. But mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds, man. Let's see. Let me go back to Matthew chapter 24. And verse 23, then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is the anointed, Yahushua, or there believe it not. For there shall arise false Christ and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. But we know this ain't gonna, they ain't gonna deceive the elect, man. But the point is, the Lord's coming back, man. Days are getting shorter, man. We're soon out of here. We're soon to be out of this wicked ass queendom, man. This ain't even no kingdom, man. I was talking to the brother the other day, man. We got to stop calling this place a kingdom. This ain't no damn kingdom, man. It's a fucking queendom. It's run by bitches, man. That's just how it is, man. Just got to say how it is, So we can get out this queendom, man. The Lord is shortening these days. Let me reread that scripture. Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. For the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, man. So keep pushing this truth, man. And of course there's a scripture that says, going back to being angry and stuff, man, let not the sun go down in your anger, man, your wrath, man. Find different ways to, cope with, being in this wicked ass society, man. Be self-examining yourself daily, man. The scripture, self-examination. Let me see. Let's get it real quick. It's the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua Mashiach is in you. Said ye be reprobates. We gotta do daily exhortations, man, within ourselves, man. Let's see if I can get another one real quick. That's not it. Nah, that's all good right there, man, but we know this place is about to get out of here, man. And call Allah Yahweh Shemiah Shai for these days being shortened, man. I hope this lesson was edifying to the